Hello, and welcome to another episode of Catch Dog Concepts. Today, I want to talk about a few things, a couple comparisons I'll make. We'll talk about apex predators, dogs, standards, natural selection, and why it's important. So when I compare these apex predators, I of course know that these animals are not the same genetically, but they have similarities, and they both perform. Some even perform to live when it comes to dogs. Depending on how they're kept. So when we talk about standard in nature, it comes from natural selection. It's a natural standard. It's not nothing shaped by man like it is in dog breeding and dogs. Certain animals, if they don't have certain things, they die. It's a hard code by nature. Nature is the hardest color there is. The animal will not survive if it does not have the right things it needs to perform its function. And I hear a lot of people say standard isn't important, or I don't believe in a standard. But if we don't have the proper build or the proper structure for a dog to perform or do what it needs to do, it can't do it. Let's say, for instance, cheetah and its flexible spine. A cheetah needs its spine to be able to retract and bounce, kind of like a spring, to be able to run. And I'll pull up some videos and whatnot to kind of compare and show. So here we have a cheetah and greyhound, and I think a Saluki also in the back. The cheetah uses its spine, kind of like I said before, as a spring. It retracts, comes in and out to kind of help it stretch its body out and come back and stretch out again for long strides and to help it stay on top of its prey while running. And it's kind of the same thing for the greyhound. They both have slightly higher rears. This helps them to push off while they run. And once again, two totally different animals, but they do have similarities. If both of the greyhound and the cheetah didn't have their flexible spines, neither one of them would be able to run at the top speeds that they can get to. One being the fastest land animal on the earth, and one of them being I'm pretty sure the fastest dog in all of dog breeds. The tail. If neither one of them had their tails to help them kind of turn and maneuver and stay balanced like a rudder, then neither one of them will be able to turn flexibly and have that kind of agility that they both have. So these things are here for a reason. There are certain things, of course, in the show world and in standards that may not need to be there or may need work done on them. But I mean, to be real, no dog is perfect on anybody's yard. If you tell me all your dogs are perfect, I'm gonna look at you crazy. But these things that these animals do have are important, and they're there for a reason, especially in nature. Especially in nature. I'm going to say it again. God makes no mistakes when he makes these animals or these creatures. And like I said, nature is the hardest color there is. And if you can't survive, if you can't run, your spine is not flexible enough for you to be able to move fast enough, then you won't be able to catch animals and you won't be able to eat. Period. The next section I want to kind of talk about is the Borbals, the bigger, and the Mastiffs. This is my forte. This is what I like to talk about mainly. This is what I love. And with this video, I am not a biologist by no means. I'm just a young man that loves animals. I've loved animals since I can remember. I had veterinarian books. I had animal encyclopedias. Still do to this day. But we're going to talk about the bigger and more powerful breeds. Here we have the Borbal and the grizzly bear. Two wider-chested animals. Galloping. Galloping helps cover ground quickly, but also helps them not exert as much energy when running. With this, the Borbal, I've talked to Mr. Roman A. Price. Shout out to him at Integrity Borbal Kennels. I asked him a question on why we see bigger dogs running with bigger, crazier legs, like where they're like spread out and it's not a consistent, tighter gait. It's because of the wide chest. So when you breed too extreme for a wider chest, that's when you get those crazy legs or those inconsistent gaits. Two clips. This clip here is a female Borbal manhandling a male Borbal, and these are two males, I'm pretty sure. But they you can see the power that they use with their chest, their broad muscular chest, and how they compete and battle and grapple. it's similar movements. I can see that myself. I don't know if you guys can, but this just shows the power of their chest, and it helps them survive. Both of them. Sometimes competition between male warbles, depending on where they're kept at or how they're kept in packs and whatnot, and just how they defend their territory, like a grizzly, and how they defend their territory like a warble would. Their chest is their survival, and it wouldn't make them the animals they were if they didn't have the strong, powerful chest. Some warbles, depending on who you buy your dog from, are they can run for long distances or be durable when running on the chase for hunting and whatnot. And grizzly bears are omnivores, so they don't have to rely on catching prey. But in studies, they have been shown to be able to catch prey and hunt them for miles on end. Now, I kind of want to touch a little bit more on the chest. The husky is a great example of a chest that is muscular and somewhat broad, but not completely, but still tighter to help them be a endurance and faster dog to be able to run and complete their function. And without it, they wouldn't be able to pull sleds and also be a longer lasting dog when it comes to running. Now, comparison to wolves and huskies, they both do move similarly, and they both are endurance animals, and they both have to be powerful. The wolf has to be powerful to take down elk and moose and other prey, and then the husky, of course, has to be powerful enough to pull the sled, but also be durable enough to run for long distances and times. Now, one thing we do notice with a lot of endurance-based and fast animals is their narrow chest. And this is the same thing said with dogs that are fast and built for running. They have this chest for a reason. That's why I believe standards are important. If we have a greyhound with a wide, thick chest like a boer wool, then it won't be able to run as fast as it would with the smaller, narrow chest that's deep to hold a lot of air with them big lungs. Now, one thing I have noticed that big cats do have this small, looks like a narrow chest, but this is more of because they are longer animals. They aren't like the lion and tiger are not really supposed to be fast like a cheetah. They are more of an explosive, catch their prey off guard type of predator. So they have a powerful chest still at the end of the day, and this goes unsaid with what we see that they can do in the wild when hunting. But yeah, this was just a little video showing natural selection, natural standards shaped by natural selection. How animals survive, will predators survive in their functions, in their habitats, and how their body helps them survive. And then just adding in dogs just to show that standards are there for a reason, I feel like, and these are what make these dogs what they are and help them do what they do. So I do also want to do another part of this video, but it'll be with a breeder. So be on the lookout for that. I don't want to say no names because people be stealing. um, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. C.D.C family, I appreciate and love y'all, and happy holidays.